So first up, we're going to be engaging girls with what the different emotions are and when they might feel them. So the very first activity, very, very simple, is just asking them to think about the 6 basic emotions: sad, happy, angry, afraid, surprised, disgusted. And you're going to ask them to finish a sentence: I feel happy when ... And then actually in this section you're going to be looking a little bit at what self-esteem and what self-worth is. There's a link, isn't there, between emotions, how we feel, and our self-esteem. So self-esteem is how somebody feels about themselves, and that can go up and go down. So if you've had a day where you've achieved something, or someone's been really complimentary, or something's gone well, your self-esteem could feel higher than on days where maybe you haven't achieved. Maybe you feel you've let yourself down, or somebody has been critical or unkind. The self-esteem can go down. So we talk about building somebody's self-esteem, helping them become aware of what they're good at, what they can do, how people see them, how they respond to others, positive feedback. But self-worth is very, very different. Self-worth isn't about emotions at all. So self-worth is the worth that we get simply by being born, simply by being alive. It's a God-given, intrinsic value that we have that never, ever changes. So we read in the Psalms, don't we? I am wonderfully and fearfully made. It doesn't say, when I'm feeling good about myself and someone says I look nice, I am wonderfully and fearfully made. It just says, I am wonderfully and fearfully made. How God made me, the value He gives me is unchanging. But self-esteem goes up and down, self-worth doesn't change. So remember that in this session with girls, as you're talking about emotions, how we feel about ourselves on the one hand, we also want to remind them that even if they feel on the worst days absolutely rubbish, their value doesn't change. And we need to help them remember that. In fact, one of the great emotional resources that God has given us is memory. Think about an elephant. Memory. Elephants never forget. Think about that image in your mind. How can you help girls remember that their value doesn't change? And there's a wonderful verse in Romans chapter 8 where Paul says, don't forget who you are. Don't forget that because God is God, you are His children. It's a wonderful passage, and Paul is reminding the early church this is who you are. So your role in this first session of engaging is helping girls to acknowledge their emotions, acknowledge that sometimes they feel happy about themselves and sometimes they feel sad about themselves or disappointed, and that's okay. It's okay to have those feelings, and girls need to be reminded it's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel happy. But also to remind them that actually whether they're feeling sad or happy or surprised or afraid, their value never, never changes. 2 things to hold in hand. So enjoy the session.